if I wanted to be in the best shape of my life at 61, and spoiler alert, I do, this is what I would do. Look, there's a lot of talk right now about walking and weights and the beauty of those. And there's a lot of talk about high intensity interval training or sprint interval training and just what is the difference. And then there's a lot of talk lingering from the 80s about moderate exercise and what's best. This is where I'm going to tell you how the myths that you believe may be wrong and misleading you. But if you have a limited amount of time and energy, exactly what I would do in order to be in the best shape of my life in this, my 62nd year, very soon. Hey, I'm Deborah Atkinson. I'm the founder of Flipping 50. This is my 42nd year full-time and then some in fitness. I have taught in kinesiology at a major university for 15 years. I have worked in private health clubs, hired, trained personal trainers, group fitness instructors, and supervised hundreds of thousands of personal training sessions. We've worked for decades with them, but it's a whole nother ballgame when you yourself are 61. So, collectively, selfishly, I use all the information that I've collected over decades to help myself age optimally right now in the present moment and for the 25-year ahead in the future me that I want to be. So here's the truth. There's a ton of research on the benefits of walking, and because as I'm doing this is Heart Health Month, you're going to find that this is true too. What's happening is with walking, there is a threshold of returns at about 7,000 steps. So when we're talking walking, often we also are talking the accumulation of steps throughout the day. So whether you go on a walk, one long one, or you do intermittent walking throughout the day after meals here and there, or just count your steps, and you're getting them that way at about 7,000. Now I know it rhymes, 10K a day, but that's the only reason that number ever came out. 7,000 is the number where mortality rate or mortality risk decreases significantly if you're walking regularly. But at about 7,000 steps, that it falls off. You're not getting more because of it. Now, if you're a woman in menopause, you might get a slightly better result because of blood sugar stabilization and cortisol decline. We know for a fact that women who walk, and they're walking at a self-selected pace, actually decrease cortisol. They don't even increase it with exercise, they decrease it. That's a win-win. So you're getting in steps, you're decreasing your stress level, everybody's happy. So don't stop walking, but don't potentially stop there. I want to look at the other end of the continuum. So if going for a walk and a stroll is great, what about huffing and puffing and getting really tired? Whether you choose to do jump squats, or you sprint on a treadmill, you get on your elliptical or your Stairmaster, your rowing machine, or the swimming pool, and you're doing sprints of 20 to 30 seconds to get breathless, and then you stop completely and rest and catch your breath for maybe up to 4 minutes. And then you do 4 to 6 of those high intensity intervals. Here's the benefit. If you're doing that, sprint training is really what it's called. HIIT training is not quite so intense, by the way, if you're looking for a definition. HIIT is not quite as hard. It's a little bit lower than that. Might go for up to a minute. That will get you fit in twice the time. So twice as fast, let me say that, twice as fast as doing slow, longer, steady state workouts. But sprint interval training, where you go all out like you're crossing the finish line for 20 to 30 seconds, that gets you higher fitness level, increasing your VO2 max, which is really your measure of cardiovascular fitness, much faster. Statistics collectively, so if we looked at a lot of studies all at once, anywhere between 4 and 19% increase in your VO2 max within 2 to 12 weeks. Now, so if we break all of that down, the people who were the least conditioned. So not necessarily right off the couch, because don't do that at home. We don't want you to sprint if you haven't been laying a foundation of walking and doing other things first. But if you're deconditioned, you haven't been doing too much, but your body is ready for more. Those were the people who got 19% increase because they stood to gain the most. Are we clear? All right, and they probably gained it much more quickly. The higher the intensity level was, the more quickly the gains came. If you're already fit, but maybe you're not doing sprint interval training, you still stand to benefit by doing 2 or 3 sessions a week. More is not better, by the way. So don't think, well, I'm gonna do 5 or I'm gonna do 7, because actually, again, it's like that 7,000 steps walking. The returns go down. If you're doing more, you don't necessarily walk more and increase your longevity better. You don't. It's just, you might improve your blood sugar level, but not longevity or mortality risk decline. Similarly, if you do more HIIT, don't forget, you have to recover. So when you do HIIT, it is much more likely to cause micro tears, to cause trauma to the muscle, the tissues, and to the bone. And they need to recover in between, especially if you choose high impact interval training or sprint interval training. Now, by the way, those of you who are saying, I never sprint, not unless it was from a bear, I get it. But sprint is just a term. It means going really fast all out for 20 or 30 seconds. You can do that in a swimming pool, literally swimming or running in the deep end, no impact at all. You can do it on a rowing machine or an elliptical. You tell me what you like and we can probably turn it into a sprint interval training. As long as it gets you breathless in 30 seconds or less, it works. If you can't get breathless in that time, we're looking for something else, okay? So if I wanted to get the most fit, here's what my week would look like. I would have a base of, we walk the dog 7,000 steps a day at least. We try to get that in. It's just like brushing our teeth. We're not gonna skip brushing our teeth. We need to do that. And if you have a dog, you know you need to do that. So on the other end, I'm gonna spend the next most important piece of my time in prioritizing sprint interval training. I'm gonna get that done twice, maybe 3 times if I feel really good that week and energetic. So what I'm paying attention to when I sprint on the treadmill, I sprint at about 9 or 9.1 or 9.2 or 9.3 regularly. Those are my intervals that I get breathless in about 30 seconds. If I start getting breathless at 9 or 8.9, I know that I'm doing too many and not recovered, and I want you to know the same. Other ways that you could do high intensity interval training, get out of breath with no impact or low, walk up a steep hill with a weighted vest on, or put your treadmill incline at a steep incline like 12, 13 or 14, 15%, and put on the weighted vest. It doesn't have to be fast. It will feel fast, even if it's not fast. But if you find I can't go as high of an incline, or I can't go at that same speed, that's your cue, your message, you're not recovered. So make sure you realize, I'm just gonna do more cardio because I wanna be more fit. That's not the answer. The answer is doing the right amount of cardio, recovering from it, and not the cardio that you did in the 70s and 80s when you wore leg warmers, leotards on the outside of your tights, and you had big hair. I know. So, what I want you to pay attention to last is moderate exercise. Now, the American Heart Association still is a very credible organization and will say 150 minutes of moderate exercise. But it also says if you're doing moderate to vigorous, getting breathless, it's only 75. So that's the trade-off. And you can mingle and mix them. If you still enjoy that steady state, just be sure you're not only doing that, because your bigger benefits are reduce your cortisol by walking and do high intensity interval training. So you're going to accelerate your time to benefits to your VO2 max, and you can still enjoy that moderate, but don't overdo that. Put all your eggs in lots of baskets. Questions? What would you do? And how are you at your most fit right now?